I'm going to call the meeting to order, seeing that we have a full house. We're just also waiting on Alicia, so in between, if someone else could also take notes before she comes in, that would be great. Everybody had a chance to look at the agenda?
Yes.
Does anybody see any type of changes that is on the agenda? Can I hear a motion to approve the agenda as written?
I'll make a motion to approve as written.
Second.
All right. And we'll do the roll. All in favor, Ken?
Aye.
Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Okay, Janet? All right, all in favor? Aye. You got it. All right. Then we had the minutes of the meeting from July 10th. Hopefully everybody had a chance to read it. Does anybody have any type of corrections, admissions, edits, typos?
It looked good to me. Right down to the discussion of a 1-bedroom and 75 applicants.
You got me. Hold on a second. Oh, I was going to say, I didn't remember reading Appleton.
No, applicants.
Oh, applicant. Okay. It's like, wait a minute. All right. So can I get a motion?
I have a minor correction. So in the second section where it says housing trust and the second paragraph, it ends with the same sentence, which is vote to approve the minutes 400. That's up in the approve the minutes section. So that just needs to be deleted.
Oh, I didn't see that. It's a very last line.
Oh, not the minutes. Yeah, we have to approve the
the
housing trust. Okay, so yeah.
There's just a line that doesn't belong there from the previous paragraph. That's all.
Got it.
Good catch.
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, Karen?
Aye.
Steve?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Ken?
Aye.
Aye. Janet says aye, so unanimous. You got it. Okay, Sarah, welcome to our committee again. It's so good that you keep showing up and giving us feedback. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any type of comment or anything that you want to add to?
No, actually, the last couple meetings that I've sat in with you have been very informative. You've been very welcome.
That's because I'm trying to get you to join the committee.
Well, no, the only thing here, I was thinking about this weekend, is just if you can make clear as soon as you know when this housing trust hearing is going to be.
We're going to be discussing, yeah.
And I'm sure maybe you're going to address that later tonight. And then the other thing is, are residents going to get a chance to read this document?
This document meaning the bylaws?
The housing trust bylaws.
The housing trust bylaws? Oh, by all means. Right now it's a draft.
Right.
Okay, so it's got to go through, Ken will even go ahead and help me with this one it's got to go through a lot of stuff beforehand. And the bylaws don't have to really be approved before the town meeting. It's the second part of it. We need to get the housing trust approved by the town first. And then we go ahead and start working on our goals, the bylaws, and put everything in motion. So that's why I wanted to get it out there first so that we can start testing the waters.
But what happens theoretically, like say, you guys have a plan in your head and you're gonna execute that plan, and it's gonna be a good plan, I'm assuming. But say something goes wrong, like, and you guys can't agree on the bylaws. Do you just have to kind of keep at it until you agree?
For sure, but that's why I want to try to get it beforehand as much as possible. because if there's something that's blatant, then I want that, again, to be brought forward as soon as possible. And like I say, there may be little tweaks here and there. That's what I'm hoping for. But yeah, like I say, the first thing is we have to just make sure that it's official, and then we move forward. But yes, there will be feedback, but from, by, for, during, with the community, because this is a project that is there to help out the community, and we're using community funds to help fund it. So it's sort of like a twofold process that we've got to make sure.
Okay, so be patient a little bit on when I can read the document. And then you're gonna have a housing trust hearing set up soon.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, because what the plan would be is it's gonna, when we present to the CPC for funding, we're gonna have to have some documentation for that. That's gonna be on August 19th at 7:15. The meeting's gonna start, so probably more like 7:30. All right, so that's when the application's gonna get shown to CPC. They're gonna want some sort of documentation showing that we've got at least some of the ducks in a row. They're not just gonna, give 30,000 willy-nilly. And then with that, we're gonna go ahead and be able to that's why I wanna have the meeting with everybody, so find out when everybody can make meetings in September, that we're gonna have 2 public hearing meetings to go ahead and discuss what the housing trust is all about. And
Two.
we're gonna have 2, at least 2. One of them is going to be a public hearing from CPC, first of all, and then public information sessions about the housing trust. I mean, that's what I'm looking for. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, no problem. But yes, it will be posted and everything else like that to make sure people are aware of what the schedule is going to be. All right, so I'll make clear about the meetings and get documents out. Okay. All right, so thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
All right. And I promise to pause every once in a while, make sure if you got any, questions or whatever. Okay, moving on with the agenda. Alicia and I went to the board or the select board meeting to go ahead and ask them if we can reduce the members of our committee. And we got set up, and we're set up as 7. We received 2 resignation letters, one from Steve Quinn and the other one from Hillary Curtis. With that, we told them that we'd like to try to have it just as 5 members, quite possibly having 2 alternates. They gave the okay because they know on how difficult it is sometimes to get the quorum. And I think Karen, you were able to show up, right? I'm trying to remember. Ken, were you there too?
No, I wasn't there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So with that, they were happy, to go ahead and reduce it to 5 because they want us to continue moving forward. So that was really good. And like I say, they gave us thumbs up. Then the next was, I started talking a little bit about the housing trust and how it's going to be on the warrant, on a warrant article for the fall town meeting, which is October 26th. And they were interested in hearing a little bit more about it, a little bit about, what some of the bylaws entailed and how the Board of Trustees is going to get built, on how it's a 2-year term, but it can get, the individual can get renewed and such. So they were very supportive of it, and they were very supportive to hear that we were going to be asking monies from the Community Preservation Commission or committee to go ahead and get it started. They understood our discussion that we had last time of looking for a dollar amount that is just to get the whole thing started, but not to ask for a lot more until everything gets all settled, and also to the monies that come in from the surcharge increase fills in the buckets so that we get to go ahead and ask for more next year. So they were happy about that. Anybody have any questions with regards to the select board meeting?
No, being there, I just want to thank you again, Janet. You did a great job. It was very well received, and the Board of Selectmen like sat up straight. It was really nice to see how they received what you were presenting, and yeah, they were very pleased. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, you're welcome. And I think one good thing about it is they all have it in their mind. I know Sean, has spoken a lot about, getting something for housing assistance and such. So I think that has a lot to stand by, our side. So we've got their support. So I think that's good.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you guys too, because I can't do it without you. I already know better than that. So, all right. If there's nothing else, then I want to dive right in. Okay, where I'm going to first dive into the application for the monies for the housing trust, and I sent you both applications where it was the eligibility, and I realized, yes, Ken, there's a typo on the first page of the eligibility. I realized it afterwards, where it's the October fall meeting, October 26th. Really, we don't need that one for the CPC funding, but I'd like to always have stuff done just in case. And I'm looking at the application itself for CPA funds. This is the one, and it's, I believe it's approximately 8 pages long. So I've put the name of the contact people on the application as being myself and Alicia, seeing that it's really Alicia's phone number that people can get in touch with us through her. But I do have my town email address on here. I don't know if people think I should also put Alicia's on there.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Keep everything consistent. So, okay. And then on the second page, the total cost is the $30,000 that we discussed last time. Then you get a detailed narrative of the project and describing the project. We've got that the project itself is requesting seed money to start the Ayer Affordable Housing Trust, which is seeking approval, October 26th fall town meeting. The housing trust is used to help low or moderate income or Ayer residents with rental assistance. The Affordable Housing Trust plans to grow, hopefully with an annual disbursement from the CPA fund to assist residents with first-time home purchases, to work directly with developers to create affordable housing, and to possibly purchase existing structures to develop additional affordable housing within the town of Ayer. I sort of took a little bit about what the purpose is on the bylaws and made it more, less legalese. Because again, I believe, I think we've all discussed this housing trust isn't just going to be for rental assistance. As it grows, we do want to be able to expand to possibly buy structures, and refurbish them, work with a nonprofit or profit developer to get other affordable housing structures, housing built. With that, it doesn't necessarily have to be 40Bs, but there would be affordable housing so that they would meet the deed requirement and such. So with that, I didn't know if the group liked that description or if it should possibly be more like the legalese section in the bylaws. Any?
Give me a second to open it up again.
Sure, no problem.
I mean, it looks like
Mhm.
you're emphasizing the fact that the first go around is rental assistance. Basically, that's the first step we're going to take.
Correct. And I think, I mean, again, that's what the need is right now, especially with everything that's going on with COVID.
Right.
To be able to help people who can't make that. And as the housing trust and the board of trustees get their feet wet, again, this is all, I mean, it may not be new to the individuals who may come forward to be on this board. They may have, done this in certain other towns. I mean, who knows? We do have a great diverse group of individuals coming into town. So with that, working with a developer, trying to redo, I'd say, some of the older houses to make it into affordable housing units. These are things, again, I'd love to see happen in the future. So that's why I put it down as being as it grows. Like I said, I sort of liked it because it was more, less legalese.
Do you have to circle that thing on the first page where?
Yeah, I do.
Excuse me?
I just couldn't do that through,
With a PDF? Okay.
yeah. But it'll be circling community housing.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the general idea is that we're going to have to make a presentation anyway. So you're trying to get the goals as close to as possible to what you're going to ask for. But the real discussion is going to happen when we meet before the CPA, the committee, right?
Correct. Yeah. But again, this is what they go by of, like, I have to send this in a couple days before the meeting. So
Yeah, sure.
But again, that I've already talked about it at the meeting. So it's
Right.
not like it's something coming out of left field. But this ends up becoming, the public document. So
Pretty clear to me. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's done well. I think it's easily understandable.
okay.
It's reader friendly.
Yeah. And Karen, you've been on CPC, so it definitely has to be, because it's,
Yes.
I don't mean to make it sound that way, but it's like, okay, great. When you get stuck with a lot of numbers and legalese, it's like, okay, great. It takes a little bit longer to get through. All right. So pretty much, like I say, and what I think I'll do as well is have like the draft of, once we go through the bylaws, but have the draft of the bylaws of this is what we're looking for. So if there's certain members that want to get further into it, we'll be able to do that as well. So, all right, so some of the goals are going to be, to help local residents with rental assistance by offsetting their rental payment directly to the landlord, straightforward, and to help preserve the housing diversity in the town of Ayer. And it's by doing all the other items too that we have for future plans. So I thought that would be good. Then who's going to benefit? And it's low to moderate income residents of Ayer. And I want to make sure people realize that this committee is on the direction of the master plan, because this is what the master plan asked for us to create. So again, we wanted to keep Ayer's, has its goals to help keep Ayer affordable and diversified as possible. And how, go ahead.
Do you need to define moderate income, low and moderate?
Well, that's probably going to be one of the questions. And
Right.
Usually that's, again, right now they're looking at 100% or 80% of the area median income. So I can have that chart where it goes ahead and says, this is what the income levels are.
Right.
And this is what the 80% is, this is the AMI, this is what 80% is, this is what 100, sometimes some towns are even going 120%. But I think even if we look at 80% of AMI, majority of us would fall into that category. So, which I still find amazing.
When
So,
you
yeah.
talk, you're going to clarify that by saying it's established in Middlesex County by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, or whatever the housing division is, I presume. It's not just
Right.
an arbitrary number made up in the town of Ayer.
No,
We know what it is. I just wanted to be careful that you
Yeah.
you broadcasted it that way to everybody else.
Right. Okay. Okay.
The big A, affordable.
Yep. All right, so I'll have that as well. That's a good one. Okay, so how will success be measured? When we know, we can assist local residents to remain in their housing units and or create additional housing units in the town of Ayer. I'll fix that typo. I mean, really, that's going to be the success.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do I want to write down additional housing, diversified housing units, or, because again, that's always the buzzword of the master plan.
You've got it in the first goal, Janet.
Okay,
I think, yeah, no, I think you're good.
all right. Okay, so with the CPC criteria, it's like, this money is going to abide by the CPA guidelines from the state. And I can go ahead and probably break some of that down. Okay. I'll list some of the 44B guidelines just so that they can do it as a check. Okay, it's going to meet that. It's low or moderate income individuals. It's going to be for residents of Ayer. There's going to be no, what do I want to call it? No bias for a certain job function. Like, some communities only do it for people who are in the healthcare field. They do it that way. We're not going to have any type of thing like that. We're going to make it so that it's more of just low and moderate income residents of Ayer, and they're going to have, like say, some of the guidelines is, their residential qualification. Again, this is stuff that we've got to iron out of. Do they have to live here in Ayer for more than a year prior to applying? Do they have to live in Ayer, throughout the time of getting assistance? I'm going to look at some of the stuff from Habitat for Humanity on how those individuals who get the houses, of what they have got to do, how long they've got to live there and everything, to go ahead and give back to the community and back to Habitat. So those are some of the things that, like I say, are going to be forthcoming. I feel like I'm an Italian because I'm talking like this. But I know that that's inside my mind that has got to be drawn up within the guidelines and the specifications. But I think for this question here is I'll break down the CPA guidelines from 44B and let them know that we're going to be making sure that these monies would abide by those guidelines. You got a question, Steve?
I have a question. I don't.
Oh, okay. No, I saw you raise your hand, so that's why I didn't know. Okay. So does that make sense for getting that breakdown in there to, sort of like detail it a little bit more on that question?
I have a comment on the Habitat that statement that you made.
Yeah?
My experience with Habitat is they give people zero interest mortgages. They don't, and then the people assist in building the house and volunteers build a house and whatnot, but it's not a rental assistance type thing. It's a low interest mortgage and they buy into the program.
Right, but don't they have got to do something for a couple of years I mean, they can't just grab the house.
No,
sell it.
they have to be, I think it's a 20-year mortgage or something like that, but
Yeah,
there's very strict guidelines for
Mhm.
what they have to do, but
yeah.
might not segue with what we're doing. That's all I'm mentioning.
Yeah, no, I think if anything, I was aiming more towards, again, they just don't get this benefit and all of a sudden they can then sell the house. They've
No.
got a certain amount of years that they've got to live there. And that's what I'm looking at is, okay, if we give the individuals assistance, they just can't say, okay, landlord, you've been paid up this month, we're not leaving. You know, it's like, okay, that type of thing.
Alicia's
Hi,
picking
Alicia.
up the balance, she said.
So sorry.
Jesus.
Okay, no problem. We're on the. All right. Well, welcome. We've started looking at the application for the CPA funds.
Very good.
All right, and so going on to the statement of community needs, we definitely, it's like, you know, to continue the diversity within the town and allow for the continued growth of affordable housing units in the town. And then again, this has all been identified by the comprehensive master plan, the housing production plan, and the community preservation plan. So this is a goal that all of them have requested. And then looking at community support, I know that the board has given its thumbs up, Council of Aging has, and the Community and Economic Development Office. So I know that we'll be getting letters of support from each single one of those groups.
Janet,
Go ahead.
Yeah?
can I go back to that statement of community need for a moment?
Sure.
So the way I read it, it says the Affordable Housing Trust will continue the diversity, but it's not the trust that continues the diversity, is it? I mean, it's the trust will fund projects, maybe, or work with homeowners or do something to continue the diversity. But the trust itself is not continuing the diversity, is it?
No, I see what you're talking about.
Can I have to write this a number of times for grants and things like that. What we usually do is cite what the state is looking for as far as housing and numbers that are missing, you know, because there's so much little housing in comparison over the state. So why don't Alan and I just fluff that a little bit?
What I'm trying to get is the trust basically supports projects and funds projects, and we hope the projects will continue the diversity. It's not the trust itself. Maybe
Well,
it's
the trust can support the community's desire for, and because in both the housing production plan and in the master plan, it speaks that all of our public hearings and what we hear from people all the time is how much they want to see the town maintain its diversity and its diverse housing stock. So the trust would be another method to support this commitment to the community in this way.
How about
Right. And I think that's what Ken's trying to say is instead of the trust doing it, the trust is going to support.
And
Yes.
all you have to do is put a word in there. The Affordable Housing Trust will continue to support, not create.
Yeah.
Just add that, continue to support.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds good.
And after I do all these edits, I'll be sending this back out to you guys too. Like I say, we just, you know, need it. I'm gonna need it by one of these days. I'll remember where my calendar is. I'll need it by the 14th of August because I'll have to send it out to the team, to CPC. All right. Okay. All right. And one other thing, all right, so is that it for community need, Ken?
that was all I had. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. The other thing too for community support, I'm gonna talk to Ken Martin, with regards to the housing authority, because housing authority will be able to come to us for rental assistance as well for some of their individuals. So,
Um, I get a call from Jamie Eldridge's office this morning, because they wanted to get in touch with Ken. But Jamie's he started his career on a housing authority, I think, in Acton. So he'll write a letter of support, but maybe we don't need something outside of the town.
yeah, I don't think we do.
How do you feel about, did we get a vote of support from the Board of Selectmen?
Well, when you're saying that, yeah, we got.
Oh, you've got select board there. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll get letters from support from the Select Board, Council of Aging, your office, Alicia, and the
Yep.
Housing Authority. And I think
Sounds
that
good.
would be good. I'm going to move on to number 6, the budget, where we're at 30,000. And the CPA fund is really going to be contractual, 30,000. I don't think that there's really anything else there that we need to do anything for additional bids. And for funding, like I say, we've got commitment letters from those 4 groups. And any other attempts for funding, I've got, the initial request is for seed money. The Affordable Housing Trust will also be funded with the in lieu of fees from the new inclusionary bylaws, the Town of Ayer funding, as well as private contributions. The Affordable Trust will be seeking an annual disbursement from CPA funds. I wanted to give that as a heads up. In lieu of fees, do you think that should have quotation marks around it?
Yes.
It should also probably use the term if applicable, right? Because it's not going to be every deal that's going to do that.
Okay.
I'm just speaking, Alicia can comment on it.
Yeah.
The way you read this, it's almost like it's every time there's a inclusionary zoning usage, it's going to pay a fee, and that's not the case, I don't believe.
Okay, that covers it. And like I say, Alicia, when we get this, ironed out, we'll send it on.
The only other thing that I'm wondering is we haven't actually hammered anything out with Robert about, and what this is something I can take care of. Some servicing, having an administrator for the trust who processes the budgets and when you spend money. I mean, for you, do we just spend it through the CPA or CPC and then it's not something, is this going to go into the pocket, or does it just get held by the CPA until it's used?
No, CPA is going to be just like the conservation fund. CPA will give us 30,000. The 30,000 will be now in the trust. The trust is going to be held by the town accountant, so that the trust
Treasurer.
itself. The treasurer. Thanks. So with that, it will be an invoice that the trust will send to them to go ahead and for rental assistance, pay this landlord $500 or whatever.
Okay. So managing the, say we do rental assistance, managing the rental assistance program and things like that. I think that it can be done, and one of the contributions from the town could be my hours to do that. But does that need to be mentioned in this?
That's going to be a question that will be asked.
Well, it doesn't need to
Okay.
be mentioned in the application. You kind of covered it in your the bylaw.
In the bylaw.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
I'll just clear it with Robert and Carly and make sure that they agree. Or you can do that, Janet, if you want, but whichever.
Mhm. Yeah, no, like I say, we sort of alluded to it beforehand, but it's going to be the community and economic development will be the the administrative portion of the trust. Because again, the trust is, bless you, the trust is going to need somebody. Okay, so I'll put down if applicable, which would be good. And I gave them a heads up that we're going to be doing this on a yearly basis. So hopefully it can be part of the percentage breakdown and such. All right, so on 7C, other funds and budget in kind, it's pretty much the same thing of what's in B of the in lieu of fees, etc. Okay, and then the timeline, we expect this trust to be an ongoing opportunity for residents. So we'll be seeking annual support from CPA funds. And I don't know with regards maintenance, they're really, the maintenance of it is going to be just the administration of it. And maybe this is where we can go ahead and put Alicia's we can put the community and economic development.
That's exactly where it needs to go, right
Yeah.
there. Yep.
Okay, so how be funded by the town of Ayer? And go ahead.
You don't think this maintenance question here just applies to a CPA project that was construction related?
Well, I mean, I think, I'll say it this way. Yeah, it does apply to that, just like the community gardens. CPA funds can't be used for watering the gardens.
Right.
So that's considered maintenance. But I think because of this being contractual, that the trust is going to need administrative maintenance, then put it in there as, we've got it covered, and it's going to be Alicia to take care of it. Now, I don't think, expected annual maintenance. I don't know if, Alicia, you want to come up with any type of figures for that. Again, we don't know.
What we do is we come up with figures of hours spent. So
Okay.
it's done as hours spent and a commitment. The only thing I'm questioning is because the trust is not part of the town, can the town give, I think Robert's going to tell me yes, that they can. I've been meaning to ask him this. I just haven't seen him.
The trust is it's a public entity of the town.
Okay. Then it should be fine.
Okay.
Yep. And what I'll come up with is X amount of hours, and the town is donating that to the trust, and X amount of hours, and we'll figure out X amount of hours per month or X amount of hours per week or something like that.
Okay. All right, I think that would work out good. And again, more than likely, the X amount of hours is going to increase over time as we grow.
Yep.
Okay. All right, any other feedback? All right, and then I don't have anything for 10 project site documentation because we don't have anything there, and there's no zoning compliance. And is there any additional information? I just wanted to emphasize that this is a goal of the master plan, the housing production plan, and the community preservation plan. So that's it for the application. Whoop, was that me? Sorry.
No, that was me, sorry.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know whether or not I need to, I probably do need to get a motion to, I tell you, things are moving all over the place. To take this application as amended and, with the amendments that are going to be forthcoming, to go ahead and present this to the Community Preservation Committee at the August 19th meeting. So can I hear a motion to present this?
Why don't you move this time?
I'll make a motion. It looks great. To present this at the August 19th meeting of the Community Preservation Committee.
Second.
I had some discussion.
Oh,
Can we vote on this without it actually being typed up and us being able to read what the changes are? I know what they are in theory, but how are they going to come out?
Well, the whole thing, but I think, you know, is if we go ahead and not, I mean, we can do it. I'm just trying to think, because that means we're going to have to meet before August 19th.
And all I'm doing is asking whether we can do it this way. I'm not saying.
I think, yeah, I think you can, I'm just grabbing my book. By saying, you know, with, you know,
I'm
with the,
sorry,
go ahead.
I don't know this. Can you say with, as amended and distributed prior to the meeting?
Because I think that's what we have done before at other committees of,
I can vouch for that being done by the planning board in the same general way. We'll make a vote or a decision as amended, and then in the next few days, you see the decision that's amended, and someone then, you know, if they're uncomfortable with it, then you got a problem, I guess. But,
yeah, I
this
think that's,
doesn't have to carry us. Does it have a signature block on it? I guess it does, right?
it does have a signature.
Okay, so we need to authorize someone to fill in that signature block. I presume that's you.
Yeah, it's, if you say the name of applicants, I've got myself and Alicia.
How about if we do it this way, that as amended, contingent upon accepted final draft being emailed and responded to by all board members, or something like that. I mean,
That's good.
All right. Steve?
Are we allowed to respond?
of course.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're amending it to be and approving it contingent upon everybody getting the final draft, reviewing it, and sending a I agree email back.
Okay, so if somebody doesn't agree for some reason, then what happens?
We'd have to have a meeting.
Okay.
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 And does that open us up for discussion on email, or can we not have discussion on
But
email?
that's what I'm thinking. I don't, I'm just wondering if maybe if you could just recap what the changes are going to be. And then, because they kind of went over the last 20 or 30 minutes, the changes. There's not that many changes. But if you could do that, it just seems like we should be looking at it before we actually vote on it. But if it's done on other boards and this is an acceptable practice, I'm willing to go forward with it.
All right, well, I'll review them. I know that we've got like 15 minutes left, so let me review it. That on the first page, I've got Alicia's email. On the description of the project, everybody was okay, not worried about getting more of the legalese. The goals on benefiting from the project, going to break down the AMI chart for low to moderate incomes within the residents of Ayer to make sure that everybody knows it's the Middlesex numbers and how that affects the AMI. I got a typo in part C. The part number 3 is the breakdown of some of the 44B guidelines, detailing it out a little bit so that they know how we're going to do a litmus test to make sure that it's going to abide by the guidelines. the Statement of Community Needs, the Affordable Housing Trust will continue to support the projects for the diversity within the town of Ayer through, the trust will support or continue to support. I'm going to add Housing Authority for community support for being the letters of support. There's nothing in 6 for a change of budgets. For funding, I'll list the names again of the letters that we'll be getting. For the seed money, the in lieu of fees is going to be, if applicable, will be added to that sentence. Then in, like I say, any other funds, I'm going to list the same ones that we have on the prior page. For maintenance, it's going to be, the administration is going to be handled by the Community and Economic Development Office. How would it be funded by the town of Ayer? And the budget is going to be broken down by the hours spent. And pretty much that's it.
Move the question.
That's right, but no, we'll go ahead and do it this way of, I'll still write down, contingent on the final draft. And, that's going to be reviewed by everybody before the end of this week, because I'll be sending this out within the next couple of days for you guys to review. So I've got Karen still as being, or Ken as being the
Second.
and Ken being the second. So all in favor, Ron?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, Dave, got it. All right. Sarah, any questions?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Next, like I say, we've got the bylaws, and it is quite detailed. I understand that. With regards to the Board of Trustees, I know that when I'm looking at, I don't want to, really go through it.
Why don't you ask if anybody had any changes or
And
questions?
yeah, any type of feedback with regards to these bylaws.
I got a couple of things.
Go ahead.
Do you care about typos at all? I don't know if you do or not. The
Well,
end is-
you can send them to me for typos.
Okay. Well, there is a little thing at the end of section 5 regarding the dates, which you'll clearly change because it refers to the dates of another town. Talks about 17 and 18. Tenure of trustees.
Liz. He is, yeah. Okay.
So I guess my first question is, this is a model that you got, I think you said, from the town of Westford?
I picked and choose from a variety of them.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I didn't like some of the wording on some of the towns. I also got it from Manchester by the Sea. Is
Okay.
another one that I grabbed from. Go ahead.
So that 17 and 18, obviously you're going to change that.
Correct. Yeah,
So-
that would be, that's going to be from, really, I'm trying to think. They should hold office until July, because if we get approved in October, the trustees will start as of July 1st, 2021.
Right. Or whatever, it has to be, I guess.
Yeah.
On the trustees, can we stick there just for a moment? I know
Yeah.
we've talked about this a bit. I know that a lot of people are going to 2 years. Is there any way we can make the terms a little longer?
I think that's one guideline from Massachusetts. Okay, for this housing trust. And when you're saying go a little longer, they can get renewed. It's not
Okay.
like it's 2 years and they're out.
I know, it just it becomes administrative and you spend time just keeping everybody up to speed,
Okay, I can double check, but from what
I can check it too. I shouldn't have asked you. I should have gone and
that's
checked
okay.
it.
Yeah, from what I understand, the Mass General Law 55, whatever it is, 55B, has it so that the Board of Trustees is a 2-year, and they
Okay.
make the recommendation of who's supposed to be on it. So,
Okay.
okay. And then, go ahead, Ken.
Sorry, Ken. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I had a question in section 7 where it talks about all the powers.
Yeah, I did a lot there because I'm saying, it's like, okay, do I want this? Do I want this? It's like, as time progresses, you know, we do want it to grow. Do we want to come back and add stuff to a bylaw? Or do we want to just include it now, or is it going to be overwhelming? Go ahead.
Well, the question I had was actually really simple, and maybe it's just so simple that it's already answered, and that is, it doesn't seem to say anywhere here that this trust can open any accounts. It talks about all kinds of handling of the monies and contributions and how they come in, but it doesn't say that they actually can maintain an account or have an account that I could see anywhere.
Isn't that under financial where the treasurer was going to handle the account?
Doesn't say that.
It's got,
It just says under accounts, the books and records of the trust shall be maintained by the town treasurer and audited annually by an independent. So it just talks about books and records. It doesn't talk about the money, the accounts. I guess I'm just saying, should it say someplace that the accounts will be opened and maintained within the treasury department of the town of Ayer or something like that? You know, that not just books and records, the actual money. You know, maybe I'm just cutting it too close.
No, that the trust has the right to open an account and maintain account for the funds they receive.
Where does it say that?
No, that's what we should be saying.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at section 11.
Section
Okay.
11, okay.
Okay, where all monies, okay, in accordance with any zoning fees, private contributions will pay directly into the trust. So maybe that's where it gets added, that all monies that, you know, the trust will be able to open up the account.
Well, if I want to write a check to the trust, who would I make the check out to, and where would it get deposited? That's my question, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, that should be the simplest of all things to figure out, right?
Okay.
Just want the ability to.
So doesn't the trust by nature or by law have the right to do that? I don't know if you have to actually say that.
Okay, you might not. Yeah, maybe you don't. That's why I'm just bringing it up.
I don't know, but it seems
Well,
like-
again, you know, this has got to go through town council big time anyways. So if we add it and they say it doesn't need it, then we can remove it.
Yeah, and it can be a simple sentence that the trust has the right to open an account to maintain funds and gifted or otherwise. You know, it can be one simple sentence.
How if an attorney's gonna look at it?
Oh, they are going to look at it. Like I said, town council.
He's saying it won't be simple.
Oh,
No,
well, yeah.
you might get it done in about 3 years.
Well, again, that's why I sent it to Robert, a couple weeks ago, just to give him a heads up. This has got to go to town council.
Yeah. Well, you better call him and tell him to get it to town council.
Well, I will, like I say, I'll ask him, if he can show it to town council prior to it being approved. So, anything else, Ken?
Let's see. No, that was the only thing I had, I guess.
All right, what I just added too is, like, in the meetings of the trust, I want to mention that the agendas and the minutes will be posted on the Town of Ayer website. And then, does the power of the Board of Trustees spell out the rental assistance that we're going to be doing? I think, it sort of does, but I don't know if we really need a bullet to talk about, the rental assistance that will be available.
So why not a bullet that the Board of Trustees will be, I'm trying to think of the right words for it. They're responsible for setting up all the programs which the trust shall, they have the responsibility to set up and oversee the program. So for example, the rental assistance program, they will have the right to set it up and oversee it.
Okay.
You don't think that's covered in that D?
Well, like I say, I think it is.
7D?
Yep.
You know, because it'd be grant agreements, but I'm wondering whether or not the words rental assistance needs to be put in there. Let me just put the word rental assistance in there. Because I mean, really, it's a contract, it's a grant agreement. But
Well,
somehow,
also the program guidelines, they should be outlining the program guidelines. For example, different towns figure out who gets, is it a lottery? Say you've got 10 applicants and you can give to 5 of them. In some towns, they start with the poorest person and it goes up from there. In other towns, it's a lottery. So those are the guidelines that the trust would make the decision on how they wanted it to run in this town.
okay.
So develop guidelines and, I don't know, and oversee programs.
Sounds good.
Yep. All right. Like I said, we're not going to vote on this because it's, it's more of, I wanted people to get an idea of what has been coming up with a draft. And at least, how do I say it this way? Is this on the right path that you guys, want to see us going?
Yes.
I think so.
You've done a good job.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, it just, again, covering everything and making sure it all gets. So just to let you know, again, I'll tweak this a little bit more. I will double check with Robert that it has to go to the town council. Would they want to see it before the trust is approved by the town? Part of me saying he may say no, because if it doesn't get approved, then why waste town council's time? But on the other hand, can they just review it, and maybe charge us only $50 or something? I don't know. Not in my dreams. Okay, but I just wanted him to know that the doc is coming.
I have a question, Janet.
Sure.
The document you sent starts out with the warrant.
Oh, yeah.
Are we to assume that this is the complete warrant? In other words, it would have this first paragraph plus all the sections, so the town meeting would see the entire document? Is that the way it goes?
I believe so. Okay, because then they get an idea of what the trust is going to entail and the board of trustees and everything like that. Some towns have done the whole thing. Other towns have just done the warrant article, and that's it. And then had the purpose and such as a draft document available on as an addendum on the side tables and such. So I've seen that. And, but yeah, and I think, again, for the warrant article, what ends up happening is as you develop a warrant article, the town council still goes ahead and tweaks that too as well. So what you
put that legal language in there that all of us go, why?
Yeah.
That's what they do.
But it goes, but the whole thing is,
So if this, the reason I bring this up is because if the entire document goes to the town meeting floor, then you have to understand, someone has to understand or explain what can or cannot be amended on the whole document. Zoning articles, for instance, cannot be amended to be more excessive than they are given to the town meeting. You can make them easier, but you can't make them harder. But it'd be a good discussion to for us to know what an expectation would be if that can be amended. And someone could just come up with 3 or 4 different ideas. I just don't know how complicated that would be for us.
I don't know either. Again, that's a question for Robert. I can double check.
It's either, sometimes they tell you it's an all or nothing proposition, that the entire document has to go just the way it is.
Mhm.
Yep.
And it can't be amended, because if you try to amend it, it basically bypasses the public hearing and all the other stuff that led to that
Mhm.
document.
Right, exactly.
True.
So
Very true.
probably should know how important that all or nothing concept is.
Okay.
Can I say one thing on that?
Please, go ahead, Sarah.
Now that I've sat here and like watched you go through the many details of this, you guys are like trying the best you can and using all your skills and experience. So I'm backing up from all my nitpicky questions. But I think at the end of a public hearing, like if I got to a point of town meeting, I would just like to know like how you guys plan to report on this. And is this like all underneath the community preservation, the economic office? Like, is it under Robert? Is it under, are you guys like independent? Like, are you guys able to create your own reports?
Well,
Would it be in the town report? Is that your question?
Would it be anywhere? We have this like success stories about the town of Ayer CPC, and like I really got a little bit offended last year because these are great projects, but that's like people are like, just vote for this. Look at our success stories, and it was just like, I just got frustrated, and I also like.
Well, we can put it in the warrant that that the trust do an annual report to be included in the town report.
Yeah, and you can just, you can decide what's important as you go. You can decide what's important. But yeah, if you could just do that in the beginning, that would make me a little happier because there's a lot.
I think transparency is important because CPC funds are always been allowed to go to the town for vote. And what we're suggesting is that it actually jump over that. So if you want to report on how the funds were spent, then it can be requested in the bylaws that a yearly report be included in the town report. I think that's a very reasonable thing.
Mhm.
Or
Especially if you're looking at people doing contributions or a living memorial or something, that's all going to have to be, that's part of maintenance. Where the money.
Well, I don't know if it's maintenance, but maybe it's a presentation. I know you guys had a lunch, all of the community preservation people last year, and I didn't get to see what you guys saw, And
so what about that a report be generated at the end of every year and submitted to CPC and the town report?
that would be fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was going to say
I
that.
do have one other thing in it that might not be awesome. I'd be kind of curious, like, if there's any way we can say which businesses you worked with on this year. Because, like, some years you might work with, like, one builder, I'm guessing, or one real estate agent. You can think about this one, but there's some transparency there. Like, if we're dealing with one realtor all the time, like, if the answer is why, and if the answer is because he's got the best leads, like he's doing the best work, that's fine, that's as important as, it's not as simple as like how many people did we put in units, in housing, and that's the most important part of it. So I'm not going to push the latter part.
So the rental assistance will be individuals, so the individuals will apply to us. We will then review their income, which is something I have to do for the housing rehab program, which is quite actually a little bit private. We won't give individuals names because they actually give me tax returns. They give me everything. And that's why I like the idea of not even bothering with a lottery, just going the lowest income person is the first person on the list that gets money, assistance.
Right.
And then what happens is whoever their landlord is, that's the person we work with. So, but when they write the parameters of the program, when the trust writes the parameters of the program, we can be very clear about what those programs are. And they can write them for 1 year. And this is what's great about having the trust do it, because if it's not working out in a year, they can change it. So,
Okay.
Yeah. I agree about the, the reports, because what we could do is we can also have the town treasurer, break it up, because again, CPA funds are not going to be the only funds going into this trust. So it would be nice to know what other additional funds come from what
Right.
other, from what
Well,
other
Yeah.
source. Yeah.
I know the town treasurer will keep the account, but I already do 3 different accounts for other things where I break out how it's spent. I transfer money. I just tell her to transfer it. So that's something that I'll be doing for that.
Okay.
And so there can be a report from both of us, because she just gives me the bank statements and then I keep the books on it.
Okay. All right, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll put that inside the bylaws, that, something gets, like I say, for transparency, we have a report that breaks down, the money's in, the money's out, and how, again, how it was dispersed and such. This way here, so we can keep it transparent.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. All
Thank
right.
you. I won't have anything to ask you at the hearing.
I'll think of something. How's that sound? I'll put something in there. No,
I'm going to go, though, and I'm going to be in front row.
thank you. All right. Okay, so like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow up with Robert, with Ken's question of it being what can get amended and such, if it's all or nothing. Again, it's going back to, town council's feedback. And I'll add something with regards to, let's say, the annual report and such. And, okay, I know it's 8 o'clock, but we do need to find a time. Alicia, okay, times for public hearings. I got my calendar.
It's you guys. I can make anything practically.
Okay,
September?
we're looking at September. I know that we have to have, in September, CPC will have a public hearing on the $30,000 request.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be 7 o'clock on Thursday the 3rd. That's already a given. Well, I shouldn't say that. They have to still vote.
The 3rd of September?
Correct. Oh, no, the 2nd. The 2nd. It's a Wednesday.
So, okay, that's Thursday?
Wednesday.
No, it's Wednesday. I'm sorry.
Wednesday before
Wednesday the
Labor
2nd.
Day?
Yes.
Labor Day was a Monday.
Labor Day's the 7th.
Okay.
Oh, baby, almost done.
Yeah, it's on a Wednesday. Forgive me. I wrote on the wrong part. Okay, so again, that's the public hearing to vote on, to accept, they're going to hopefully accept the application on the 19th to bring it to a public hearing. That public hearing will be discussing, there'll be 2 things that CPC is going to have to do on the 2nd. One is going to be the Sandy Pond School Association, their request, as well as the $30,000 for the housing trust, should the housing trust be accepted by the town. If the housing trust is not accepted by the town, the request warrant article is thrown out. Okay, it just doesn't go anywhere. So just want to make sure people were aware of that. Then other dates, again, Steve, did you find out if there's any time you can do a morning meeting anytime during the week?
I can do Mondays from 8 to 9.
Okay.
Mondays, did you say?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness. You thought I missed this one. Oh, sorry.
I was thinking the same thing.
Okay. All right. Well, in September,
Is this just for our next meeting, or is this for,
No,
we need to do a public hearing?
what we need to do is public information sessions.
Okay,
Okay. And having one in the morning and one in the evening would be great.
that's good.
Okay. So if we can do, and again, sometime on, we can, let's see, today is the 3rd, so we could also do one end of September, end of August,
Yeah,
on either the 24th or the 31st of August. That's a Monday.
Either one.
Either one for me.
okay. August 31st for a public information session
Correct.
and meeting.
Should we do it earlier, like the 24th, just because something will come up and you may need to default, you may need that time, between
I
the
think so.
24th and other hearing times, and you have to get done.
I've always said that the last 2 weeks of August are just dead in the water. When I sold, well, I don't know about you, Ron, but when I sold real estate, you might as well just put the shutters closed and go away because there's no one in town.
All right.
But-
Okay, so we've got a public information session on the 24th at 8 o'clock in the morning. Plus a meeting.
24th, yeah.
Got it.
On a Monday. I'm sorry, I just don't ever.
Yeah. And,
Okay, that's cool.
okay. And when you're saying, plus a meeting, we can go ahead and review some of the stuff that we didn't catch on the agenda today, plus review again, because the application will already be sent in, but we can review the feedback on the bylaw and the updates to the questions.
Yep.
Okay, now if we wanted to do an evening session sometime in September, let me know. Do we want to make it closer to October, like do something Thursday night, the 24th?
Works for me.
Is it conservation that usually meets? What do they meet here?
Conservation is I think of the 1st and the 3rd. I think.
Yeah, I can
So
see
what's
if it's
the-
available.
What's the 24th? Is that the 3rd or is that the 4th?
It's the 4th.
Thursday. Oh,
It's the
okay, then
4th.
it'd probably be okay.
All right.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure conservation is the 2nd and 4th Thursdays.
Oh, 2nd and 4th. Okay.
2nd and 4th. All right, so which means, all right, 24th may not be open.
What's
No.
the 3rd Thursday?
The 17th.
17th or the 4th Thursday?
No, we can't do the 4th Thursday because conservation's the 2nd and the 4th.
Oh, okay.
So if we can do the 3rd Thursday,
Conservation.
I'll see if it's available anyways, guys. All right, I'll check with Carly to see if it's available. Because I don't think you can tell Cindy, can you?
If it's available, no. Carly
Yeah.
schedules those.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And like I say, these will be public information sessions to go over what the trust is going to be, who we want to see being on the Board of Trustees, et cetera, go through some of the information on the bylaws and such, and what will be presented at town meeting with regards to approval of.
Yeah, what's the tentative date for that again?
We've got one, the morning of
Morning one.
August 24th at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, got that one.
Okay, and then the other one is September 17th at 7 p.m.
Yeah, okay.
Excuse me, 8 a.m. is so early. It's like it's so early.
The middle of the day.
8 a.m.
So,
Some of us,
Last year,
it's the end of the day.
last year,
It's the end of the day for her.
last year, like the community and economic development's office, like had, they like really heavily promoted Allen's zoning changes, really heavily. Like, and if you guys do something at 8 a.m. in the morning, I mean, like, it's just.
Isn't that why you're having two?
That's why we're having two.
So, it's like you're just going to be meeting amongst yourself. to either like 10, 11.
I'll be there.
So we need
What?
Steve. The point is to get Steve there.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure that all the committee members will be able to make it, and the only time he can make it is at an evening session at 7 or Mondays at 8 o'clock in the morning. So,
I would say 2 evening sessions. But I'm a member of the public who's been allowed to give some feedback, so you don't have to, but that is my feedback. I think that's like you're not giving people a chance to participate.
You want
Especially
to just
since
do it? Well, what about doing it that Monday night, 7 o'clock?
Right.
What about Steve on that night?
Yeah, I can do, I could do 7 on Monday.
So that would be 2 evening meetings. Make everybody happy.
I think that is a fantastic idea. 8 o'clock.
I know, I like the morning meeting myself, but
Get a lot of
Oh, wait.
Well, you guys are all town employees though, except for
we're at work.
and
well, not all. No. Well, take that back. Yeah, I am a town employee. I got to keep remembering that.
and I have a story to tell you someday off camera that's kind of amusing. But
Okay.
Okay, can we review those dates again?
Yeah, so which means we'll have a public information session and a meeting at 7 p.m. on the 24th.
Yep.
All right, and then we are going to have a public information session at 7 p.m. on the 17th of September. We want to make,
17?
pardon? 17th,
Okay.
1-7. All right, do we want to make that into our meeting too as well?
Yes.
Yes.
So we'll book the first half of the meeting to be public information. And then just like they do public hearings at, the BOS and things like that.
Okay,
What about the timetable for the, you have to advertise for the CPA hearing?
oh yeah.
That's what I thought.
I've got it.
We can advertise, we can pay for some advertising for this in the little newspaper, but Ellen and I will go, or maybe Janet will come in and we'll all go on a video and promote it.
I was going to say yes, like your nice social media videos.
Yes, those are really good. Don't worry about paying for the legal notice. That's on the CPA budget. That's part of the administration because we have to do it anyways for Sandy Pond School.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, and that's got to be put in. I'll already have it generated so that it goes in for the 21st and the 28th.
Where are you thinking about advertising?
Pretty much we advertise in the Valley Voice.
So does anybody look at the Ayer Shirley tracker?
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah,
Okay.
He's trying to start a business there, right? Basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's only $40 to advertise
Ah,
instead of
But how many?
$550.
What's the subscription rate?
Low.
40 people.
Yeah. It's very low.
Yeah. Alicia, we can talk about that, Alicia. Right now, like I say, CPC just does the Valley Voice.
Well, and that's going to get better coverage.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the Action Unlimited, you guys? Everybody reads that. I put all kinds of stuff in that, and it's
Right, but okay. All right.
It has to be, it can't be, I'm not sure if it's a newspaper. It's
No, it can't
For the
be.
public hearing, it has to be a certain,
It has to be a
specific.
certain kind of document, to advertise in.
Right, but we could put information about, like I say, the public information sessions.
yes,
We could do like a little article about that.
yes.
Okay.
And they're very, very good about getting it when you want it out there.
Okay.
Yep.
And that comes out once a week, right?
Yes, it does.
On Wednesdays, is it?
You have to have your articles in before 10 a.m. on Wednesday,
Right.
but they are very, very good to us.
All right. All right, Karen, I'll follow up with you.
Okay.
Okay, so again, the 24th, 7 PM, public information and meeting, and then the 17th, public information meeting at 7 PM. The 17th of September.
Looks good.
All right?
Mhm.
Okay, and Karen, we'll
Just to give
finish.
you a time check, you've got 10 minutes before you go off the air.
I know, so that's why we'll finish the rest of the items on the agenda at our next meeting. Is that all right, Alicia?
That's fine. Can I just make one announcement? We did receive our COVID-19
Yep.
CDBG grant,
Awesome.
and the announcement has not gone out yet. They gave it to us for all our projects, which were 5 different projects. They took 10% off because there was a number of towns that were our regional groups that had done it for 5 and 6 towns all together. And they ended up giving money to, I think it was someplace between 280 and 300 towns in the Commonwealth. So so ours was a pretty big request. We asked for 343,000 and they took 10% off. So we got 300 and, oh my goodness. So I'm giving you rough numbers because I don't have it right in my head, but we got about 310.
Well done.
Congratulations.
So, and there's a lot to do with housing and food banks and council on aging and Meals on Wheels and all that kind of stuff. So, and small businesses also. So that will be coming out, and there'll be an announcement from this the Board of Selectmen's office. But I just wanted to let you guys know about it.
All right, Alicia, good job.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, that's great. All right, anything else? Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Someone seconded?
Second.
Okay. All right, all in favor, aye, right?
Aye.
Okay, all right, guys, thank you so much. Steve, thank you as well.